Hello students, today we'll discuss about intraoperative care. In last lecture, we have discussed regarding phases of perioperative care. In that we have discussed there are three phases, preoperative, intraoperative and postoperative care. In last lecture we have discussed regarding the preoperative care. Okay. Today we'll learn about the intraoperative care. So what is intraoperative care? Definition. Intraoperative phase begins when patient is transferred to the operating table and end with the admission to the post anesthesia care unit. Okay. Intra means what? Already we have discussed. Intra means we are receiving the patient in the operation theatre. So whatever the care we are going to give in the operation theatre, that is, we can say in operating table, whatever the care we are going to give, that is known as the intraoperative care. Okay, so we are receiving the patient on the operating table till after the completion of surgery. After that, we are going to transfer the patient into the post anesthesia care unit. Okay, so we are transferring the patient in the to the recovery room. So that phase is known as the intraoperative phase. Understood? Next, see in this figure you can see the staff, healthcare personnel, they are transferring the patient to the post anesthesia care unit. Okay, so they are receiving the patient from OT to the post anesthesia care unit, that is also known as the recovery room. Now we'll discuss organization and setup of the operation theatre, how the operation theatre should be. So the surgical chute, that is behind double doors and access is limited to the authorized person. Okay, so surgical chute, that is known as the operation theatre. So that they are behind the double door. There is a 2-3 door system is there. Okay, there are the 3 zones that we'll discuss afterwards. So double door, after behind the double door there is operation theatre, and no we can say no street clothes are allowed. Only and only authorized personnel are entered into the operation theatre. Operation room should be situated in a location that is central to all supporting services. Okay, means whenever we are having the requirement of laboratory services, yeah, radiology department, yeah, during the surgery there is requirement of the blood transfusion, so it should be central to all these departments. So during the emergency condition, during the surgical procedure, we can easily access to that all department. So in all the hospital it should be centrally assessed. The operating room has a separate air filtration devices to screen out contaminating particles, dust and pollutants. Okay, so there should be air filtration devices should be present in all the operation theatre. To improve the safety, electric hazards, emergency exit clearances and storage of equipment and gases are monitored periodically by the official agencies. Okay, so already we have heard about the cases they are occurring due to the we can say alteration in the safety of patients. So mainly fire is more having the we can say fire is more occurring in the hospitals. Okay, so due to the fire, what happened, mainly patient is having the more chances of injuries and death. Okay, so all the hospitals should have the different policies regarding the safety of the patient. So for improvement of the safety, there should be all the necessary equipment that should be in working condition and they should be evaluated by the official agencies personnel, so we can maintain the safety of the patient. See in this figure you can see that this is a operation theatre, this is a operation table. Okay, it is easily movable, we can up, down and we can arrange according to the surgical procedure. Okay, this is a head side, pillow is there, pillow exactly there is a 2 sides of hand supporting devices you can see. So patient's hand is restrained and positioned properly during the surgical procedure. Upper side you can see this is a proper light sources are there, so it is we can say help to visualize the surgical area properly. Then behind that, this is a anesthesia trolley. This is a IV infusion, IV stand. Okay, this is the oxygen cylinder is there. This is a medicine trolley, crash cart trolley. In that, all the emergency medications are available. This is a suction machine that is present in operation theatre to suck out the drain and waste material. We can say drainage, excessive drainage, so we can easily suck out. Okay, so this is a basic setup of operation theatre. So there is operating table, anesthesia trolley is there, medication trolley is there, oxygen cylinder and oxygen administration devices are there, all the emergency equipments and drugs are present, suction machine is there, radiological imaging is also present in the operation theatre. Now we'll discuss there are these three zones of surgical area. Okay, how we can say operation theatre should be. Already we have discussed there are the double door system. Up behind the double door system there is operation theatre. Okay, so zones of surgical area, there are the mainly three zones. First is the unrestricted zone, second is the semi-restricted zone, and third is the restricted zone. Okay. So all these zones we can say that having the specific restrictions that we are going to discuss. So in unrestricted zone, street clothes are allowed. Okay. So whenever any relatives are coming, yeah, we can say whenever the healthcare personnel are coming outside of the operation theatre, so with the street clothes they are allowed. They can enter in the unrestricted zone. Okay, next is the semi-restricted zone when attire consists of scrub clothes and caps. Okay, so when you will enter in the unrestricted zone, there is a changing room for the staff. Okay, so you have to change, you have to wear the operation theatre clothes, cap and mask. So after wearing that clothes, you can enter into the semi-restricted zone. And third is the restricted zone when scrub clothes, shoe covers, cap and mask should be worn. Okay, so it is a, we can say, totally sterile area in the restricted zone. So compulsorily all the healthcare personnel they have to wear the cap, mask, gown, gloves and all these things. Then they can enter into the restricted zone. Clear? So this is about the three zones: unrestricted zone, semi-restricted zone and restricted zones of operation theatre. Now we'll discuss common points related to organization. Surgeons and other surgical team members wear additional sterile clothing and protective devices during the surgery. Okay, already we have discussed when we have to enter in the restricted zone, compulsorily we have to wear the surgical clothes, surgical suits, cap, mask and all. Okay, but when the surgeons, scrub nurse, they will perform the surgery, so they have to wear additional sterile clothing like gown, plastic aprons. Okay, for we can say maintaining aseptic techniques. So masks are worn at all times in the restricted zone of operation theatre. Already we have discussed compulsorily whenever you will enter in the operation theatre, you have to wear the OT dress, mask, cap. Headgear should be completely covered the head. Okay, so completely you have to cover your head with the cap. Then you can enter into the restricted zone. Shoes should be comfortable and supportive. Shoe cover should be worn during the surgery. Okay, compulsorily you have to wear the operation theatre shoes. Okay, outside street shoes they are not they will not allowed in the restricted zone. So you have to change the shoes also, and you have to wear the shoe cover whenever you are going to perform the surgery. Shoe cover should be changed whenever they become wet, yeah, torn, yeah, soiled. So suddenly you have to change the shoe cover whenever it will be wet, yeah, soiled. Okay, see, these are the surgeons. They are performing the surgery, laparoscopic surgeries they are performing. So you can see in this figure they have wear the cap, mask, gown, gloves and eye covers also they have wear, so they can easily protect themselves and they can maintain the sterile aseptic technique, so chances of infection can be reduced. Now equipments in OT, commonly which equipments they are we can say having in the operation theatre. So already we have discussed, this is a suction machine. Suction cannula is there, suction catheter you have to use. Different numbers of suction catheters are available in the market. So according to the condition, according to the condition of the patient, you can use the suction catheter, and we can say you have to use the suction machine in the operation theatre. Okay, so this is also a advanced suction machine. you can see in the operation theatre, ICUs. This is an anesthesia trolley. Anesthesia trolley is mainly used for administration of anesthesia. That it is mainly prepared by the anesthetist doctor. Okay, so they will mainly administer the anesthesia. So they will keep all the anesthetic drugs on the anesthesia trolley. This is a general anesthesia administration devices. All the emergency equipments are present here, like endotracheal tubes and mask, suction catheter and all. This is a bag and mask ventilation that is also present during on the anesthesia trolley. All the equipments they will be having on the anesthesia trolley for administration of anesthesia. This is a cardiac monitor. It is most important equipment in the operation theatre. So during the surgery, continuously we have to monitor the vital parameters of the patient, ECG, blood pressure, respirations of the patient, then temperature also. There is a point that is also maintaining, monitoring during the we can say surgical procedure. SpO2 is also present. So all the vital parameters easily you can monitor throughout the surgery. So it is most important. In every patient we are attaching the monitoring devices during the surgical procedure. Now I'll discuss intraoperative care. Intraoperative refers to the time during the surgery. Okay, mainly whatever the care, nursing care we are going to give to the patient during the surgery, that care is known as the intraoperative care. So intraoperative care is the care during an operation. The intraoperative time period may vary from less than 1 hour to 12 hours or more. Okay, according to the part of surgery, according to the disease condition, according to the type of surgery, the duration of the surgery will be. So minimum to minimum we can say it is less than 1 hour to 12 hours or more, depending on the complexity of the surgeries being performed. Okay, so understood, intraoperative care means mainly during the surgical procedure, during the operation, whatever nursing care we are going to provide, that is known as the intraoperative nursing care. Okay, group of health personnel that will be involved in the care. So they are the anesthetic team, surgical team, operating room nurses. Operating room nurses, there are the two types of nurses. First is a scrub nurse and circulatory nurse. Okay. So anesthetic team, in that we can say they will be mainly role of administration of anesthesia. Surgical team, they will be perform the surgical procedure, and operating room nurse, they are having the two type of roles, circulatory and scrub nurse. Okay, so in this figure you can see there is a anesthesiologist, anesthetic nurse, surgeons are present, observer, assistants and nurses, they are present in the operation theatre. See, this is an anesthetic team. So in this figure you can easily observe what are the role of anesthetic team. So see, they are administrator, they are doing the performing administration of anesthesia procedure. Okay, they are auscultating the sounds, auscultate the heart sounds, lung sounds, and they are administering the anesthesia. See, this is a cardiac monitor that is attached, IV fluid, IV stand and all this equipment that is present in the operation theatre. Second is a surgical team. The name itself suggests that this team will work with the surgical procedure. Okay, so they have completed, they are the scrub personnel, they are involving in the surgical procedures, they will work with the all the sterile instruments and they will perform the surgical procedure. Okay, now what are the purposes of intraoperative care? Why we have to give the care during the surgery? So first purpose, to maintain the patient's safety and comfort during the surgery. Okay, mainly our main purpose is we have to provide the safety and comfort to the patient. How we can provide the safety? We have to put the patient side rails up so we can prevent the falls. We have to focus on the electrical hazards like burns and all. We have to provide the proper position, so we have to use the comfort devices for provision of comfort. To maintain the homeostasis, balance, to maintain the strict aseptic technique, that is most important to prevent the infection, to prevent the hematoma from safety strips or positioning. Already I have told you in operation table there are two boards, we can say that they are mainly used for proper positioning of hands of the patient. So we are stripping Okay, yeah, we are going to give the proper position to the patient. So compulsorily we have to observe there is a, it should not be too tight, and we have to check for hematoma. Okay, now I'll discuss what are the nursing responsibility during the intraoperative phase. So ensure sterility of all instruments and supplies at the operating table. Okay, whatever the equipments we are going to use during the surgery, all the equipment should be sterile. So as a nurse, she has to inquire all the instruments are sterile or not. Ensure the safety of patient on the operating table. Already I told you, you have to give proper positions, you have to keep the side rails up so we can prevent the falls. Stay with the client to relieve anxiety and support during the anesthesia. So as a nurse, we have to maintain the trustworthy relationship with the patient, and we have to provide the psychological support so we can relieve the anxiety of the patient, and we can provide the proper support during the anesthesia administration. Aseptic technique in handling and preparing all instruments and supplies. So we have to maintain the aseptic technique during the surgical procedures, and also we have to handle all the instruments properly. So sterile equipment we cannot touch with our hands. So compulsorily we have to wash our hands. We have to scrub out. After scrubbing, we have to wear the sterile gloves, and with the help of these sterile gloves we can touch the sterile instruments. Or if you are working as a circulatory nurse, so you have to use the Chital forceps for handling of the sterile equipments. Then assist in positioning the patient on the OT table. So you have to assist the anesthetist, doctors for positioning. So easily they can administer the anesthesia. We can prepare the patient for surgical procedure. Now we'll discuss what is the role of circulatory nurse and scrub nurse. First, we are going to discuss circulatory nurse. So what is the circulatory nurse? Circulatory nurse is a professional nurse who is liaison between the scrub personnel and those outside of the operating room. Okay, so she will work as a, we can say, connecting. She will be work as a connector, communicator between the restricted zone of the OT and unrestricted zones of the OT. The circulatory nurse does not scrub or wear the sterile gown and the gloves. Okay, already we have discussed those personnel they are involving in the surgical procedures, they have to be scrubbed and they have to wear the sterile gown and gloves. Okay, if you are working as a circulatory nurse, you should just wear OT dress, cap, mask and slippers, shoes. Okay, so circulatory personnel they does not have to wear the, we can say, sterile gloves and gown. Initial assessment of patient on admission to operating room. Okay, whenever the patient will coming from the pre-operative ward to the operation theatre, whenever patient is coming, so she will perform the initial assessment of the patient. Then assuring cleanliness, proper temperature, humidity, lighting and safe functioning of all equipments and availability of supplies and material. Okay, so first she will perform the assessment whenever the patient is coming to the operation theatre. After that she will inquire about the OT is properly cleaned or not, temperature is properly maintained or not, humidity, adequate lighting is proper or not during the surgical procedure, and all the equipments they are going to be used in the surgical procedures, they are working properly or not. And she has to also check about the availability of all the supplies and material that is present in the OT or not. Okay, so this is a responsibility of the scrub nurse. Then monitor the aseptic practices of the related personnel. Monitor the safety of the patient throughout the procedure. So she will continuously observe the patient. Anticipating the need of equipment, instruments, bloods and medications. Okay, so during the surgery she will identify if there is a need of any instrument, so she will assist the scrub nurse. She will provide the instruments, equipments. If there is requirement of blood and medication, so she will provide that blood, arrange the blood and medications. Already in preoperative phase we have discussed. In preoperative phase we have to arrange for the blood donor. So if there is a need of blood in emergency conditions, so we can easily arrange. Okay, so that is a role of circulatory nurse. She will provide all the equipments, materials, blood, medications that is required during the surgical procedure. opening the package is so that scrub nurse can remove the sterile supplies. Okay, whenever already what we are doing as the scrub nurse, circulatory nurse, they will prepare the we can say surgical trolley before the procedure, but in between if there is a need of any equipment, so circulatory nurse will open the instrument, sterile equipment. Okay, she will not touch to the outer cover, outer surface of the instrument. Okay, so circulatory nurse will open like that, and scrub nurse will pick that instrument, that material from inside. Okay, so scrub nurse will not touch to the outer surface area, and circulatory nurse, she will not touch to the sterile equipment. Okay, assist the surgeon and scrub nurse to tie a sterile gown. Okay, whenever the surgical team members, scrub nurse will go for the scrubbing procedure, so she will first go for the hand washing. After hand washing, they will wear the gown. Okay, so whenever they will wear the sterile gown, like that way both hands should be enter, and they will wear the sterile gown. They will not touch to the any surface. Okay, so behind that we can say they have to tie the sterile gown, so that is responsibility of the circulatory nurse. So in this figure you can see these all are the scrub personnel. They wear the gown and gown, mask, cap and eye covers, and this is a circulatory nurse, just she has wear the OT dress. Okay, so she is assisting the scrub personnel to tie up the sterile gown, and in this figure you can see like that way she is opening the sterile package, and this instrument easily that can be picked up by the scrub nurse with the sterile hands. Okay, so they will maintain this strict aseptic technique during the procedure. Prepare labels and arranging for transfer of the specimens to be for the we can say laboratory analysis. Okay, so whenever during the surgery sample is collected, specimen is collected in the specimen bottle, so she will prepare the label, she will stick the label on the specimen bottle, and she will transfer that specimen to the laboratory for the analysis. So this is the responsibility of the scrub nurse. Then counting is most important in the OT. That is the responsibility of both nurse, circulatory nurse, scrub nurse, as well as surgical team members. Okay, so what we have to count? We have to count the number of sponge, instruments, needles that are used during the surgery to prevent accidental loss of an item in the wound. Okay, so already we have heard about that. In this surgery, Caesar has left in the operating part, we can say in the patient's body, we can say there is a place of gauze, scissors, needle, anything. Okay, so for prevention of that complications, we have to count the number of sponge, instruments and needles we are going to use during the surgery, so we can prevent the accidental loss of that item into the wound. Monitor the vital signs and blood saturation continuously, so that is the responsibility of the circulatory nurse. So she will continuously monitor the patient's saturation and all vital functions on the cardiac monitor. Monitor the level of fluid therapy and medication. So she will monitor how amount of fluids has been administered to the patient, which type of medications we have given during the surgical procedure. So she will monitor and she will keep the record of all the fluids and medication. Do the proper documentation, and she will properly document all the vital functions, we can say vital signs, blood saturation of the patient, which medications we have administered during the surgical procedure, fluids, amount of fluid administered, which type of drug, anesthetic drug they have administered, type of anesthesia given. Okay, then urine output, drain, all these things she will properly document in the patient's record, and after that she will give over to the post anesthetic care unit. We can say whatever the in the nurse, which nurse she will take care in the post operative ward, so she will give overall over to the post anesthetic care nurse. See, she is doing the proper documentation, so documentation is most important. Now we'll discuss role of scrub nurse. The scrub nurse, scrub nurse. Scrub nurse is the nurse who prepare the surgical setup, maintains surgical asepsis while handling the instruments and wrapping. Okay, so we can say she is the nurse. She will assist the patient in the Okay, she will mainly assist the doctors during the patient surgical procedure. So mainly what is the role? She will prepare the surgical setup. Okay, sterile trolley, she will prepare overall setup, surgical setup, she will prepare. She will maintain strict aseptic technique during the assisting of we can say instruments and properly handling of instruments, draping during the overall surgical procedure. She will try to maintain the aseptic technique. Scrub nurse must have extensive knowledge of all the equipments and how they are used. Okay, mainly who can work as a scrub nurse? If the person, we can say, they should have complete knowledge regarding instruments, name of instruments, part of instruments, use of instruments, how to sterile that instruments. Then and then they can work as a scrub nurse. Okay, so complete knowledge should be there for, we can say, scrubbing procedure. See, this is a scrub nurse. She is prepared for the surgical procedure. She have wear all the personal protective equipments like gloves, gown, mask, cap, eye cover, shoes, and shoe cover. Okay. So role of scrub nurse, mainly we can say scrubbing for surgery. So already in last figure we have seen she is ready for surgery. Setting up all sterile tables, she will collect all the needed articles that is required for the surgical procedure. She will properly arrange on the table, okay, sterile table. She will prepare all the equipment. She will arrange for the surgical procedure, and after that, one by one, whenever we can say there is requirement of instrument, doctor is demanding for instruments, so she will properly provide the we can say she will give the articles and instruments to the surgeons. Scrub nurse, they are having the complete knowledge regarding even steps of procedures. After the more experience, what will happen? The scrub nurse will having the mastery in the assisting the surgical procedure. So she will easily know कि after that this equipment is required. After that things is required. So she will priorly ready to assist the doctor. Preparing the sutures and special equipments. Okay, so whenever there is a closure of, we can say skin closure is there, so which material is required, subcutaneous tissue, yeah, we can say muscular suture. So she will prepare all the suture material according to the suturing area. Then check the equipments and materials such as needles, sponge, instruments before closure of the incision. Already we have discussed. Okay, we have to compulsorily counting these all instruments, needles, yeah, whatever the materials we have used during the surgical procedure. After the final, we can say whenever you are going to do the final closure, so before that you have to count. So this is responsibility of all the personnel, surgical team members, scrub nurse and the circulatory nurse. Okay, so see in this figure you can see that she is preparing the all surgical instruments and she is properly arranging the all surgical instruments. So this is a, we can say, sterile table. Okay, so in this figure also you can see that she is preparing. So like that she is spreading the green cloth, that is also sterile cloth, and on that sterile cloth she will arrange all the surgical equipments. Okay. So mainly the main role is assist the surgeon during the surgery by anticipating the required instruments, sponges, drains and other equipment. So like that way you have to assist the surgeon during the care. Okay. So like that way whatever we can say handle. So like that way she has to handle the instruments, and like that way we have to assist the doctor for we can say providing assisting the surgical procedure. Okay, so this is about the role of scrub nurse. So we have completed the intraoperative care. In that mainly intraoperative care is, we can say, whatever the care we are going to provide during the surgical procedure operation, that is known as the intraoperative care. We have discussed organization and setup of the OT, how the OT should be. Then we have discussed zones. There are mainly 3 zones: unrestricted, semi-restricted and restricted zones of the OT. Then we have discussed personnel, they are working in the operation theatre. In that mainly we have discussed the personnel, they are anesthesiologist, anesthetic team, surgical team and nurses. Nurses, in that mainly 2 types of nurses they are working. We can say scrub nurse and circulatory nurse. Okay, so this is about the intraoperative care. Thank you.